Hello, BookTube, and welcome back to Framed, a BookTube event for 2024 in its waning days. All these September events are in their waning days. This is an event about art, and not just art books, although there are all kinds of art books, right? There are artist biographies, there are art movement histories, illustrated catalogs for museum exhibits, all that kind of thing. And it's all really fascinating in its own way, and it doesn't get talked a lot about on BookTube. There's also there are a couple of other ideas that are floated around for Framed. One is to take us to art, show us some art, go to an installation or a museum if they'll let you film, go to a pretty building, learn all about it if you can, or whatnot, and then also to make art, which we've done a couple of times on this channel so far in September. We've drawn a couple of rooms. I might do another one of those. But the book that I added a book to my pile last night for Framed, a reread that I haven't done in years, and oh boy, was I glad I did. I wonder how many years it's been. I would assume that this will have a pub sheet in it. No, it doesn't. This was for the 50th anniversary edition, I believe. Here, let me get this. 2016. Yeah, that's 50 years. This is a book from 2016 on the art of Star Trek. This is 50 artists, 50 years. The art of Star Trek. It's an oversized thing that shows you all kinds of different artists. You see the table of contents there is all the different artists and the different takes that they do on Star Trek. We start off with Dusty Abel. I would give anything to have this thing as a framed picture. I'd give anything to. This is Dusty Abel's epic picture of everybody from the original show. Just everybody. You're not going to be able to see the detail, but it's incredible how many people are in there. Just amazing. Right in the foreground with T'Pau there. The air is the air. What can be done? And we have the great trio there, but all the original crew, all kinds of other characters. There's Apollo from Who Mourns for Adonis. There's the ships in the sky there. Just amazing. Just absolutely amazing. What I wouldn't give for a poster of this. There's Cyrano Jones, all the various Klingons, all of these guest stars. Amazing. Just amazing. But it goes on from there. We got all sorts of different artistic styles. There's a bit of an homage to one of those original James Blish Star Trek covers. We get an oil painting of the Next Generation. Very photorealistic there. So, in my mind, not a lot to look at. Thoughtful pieces like this. Look at that. Very good. Very nice. And it just goes on from there. Here we have Derek Charm. These are all the aliens. All the alien species of Star Trek. Not just the original series, but all of them. There is a fallacy here, of course. That is not an alien species of Star Trek, as some of you will know. And we get Amy Beth Christensen does a poster here that I would love to have. Because this really is the heart and soul of Star Trek. It's a line taken from one Star Trek movie about one Star Trek captain, but it really is the ethos of the whole show. And that is, don't believe in the no-win scenario. And what we get are all the enemies that seemed like they were presenting no-win scenarios, and they were all beaten. They were all defeated at one point or another. Not just Khan; he's in the middle there. Let's see here. More surrealistic things. The transporter effect. We get, let's see, Ulysses Farinas does this weird cartoony bobbling head thing where it's just heads of characters, heroes and villains, all throughout Star Trek, and word balloons where they introduce themselves by name. So it's a very weird, surreal effect there. I kind of like it, but it's very surreal. We get the inevitable anime inspired stuff. It is dealing with original shows, but still, it's not really worth our time. We get a Hot Wheels version of the Borg cube, so it's not just paintings; it's also stuff that you can make. Here's Spock with a car from a piece of the action. We get this is PJ McQuaid. I like this. This is more stylized. I like this a little better for the next generation. That's a little bit nicer. Here we have look at that for First Contact, the Borg. Look at how surreal that is. How wonderful. That's by Dan Mumford, and of course there's a photo inset at one point in here with photography from Leonard Nimoy. The Vulcan hand signal there in multiple colors. We get cereal boxes and ship models and whatnot, and it's all just fantastic. This was a joy to flip through. Just a joy to revisit. So that's my entry for Framed for today, is Star Trek art. And you could make a book 500 times this size of Star Trek art. This is 50 artists and 50 years of Trek, but this is not a retrospective of Star Trek art. It easily could be. The artwork from the James Blish Star Trek books, the artwork from some of the novels, all kinds of fan artwork. You could triple the size of this thing, but it's lovely anyway. I had a great time with it. So, and that counts as art. Promotional art or fan art counts as art. So that will be it for Framed for this time around. Don't know, with these BookTube events, I don't know how I'm going to work the end of the month. I may continue right to the bitter end, or I might not. But if I add an art-related thing to my pile tonight, I'll talk about it tomorrow. And I will see you then. Thank you, BookTube.